Here's exactly how you do the ketogenic diet. If you don't see it, don't touch it. So the pharmacy is currently closed, but the first thing you're going to do is go to the pharmacy and get yourself some keto strips. This is going to determine how deep into ketosis you are, how many carbs you need, and the overall function of ketones in your body. So get yourself some of the pea strips. They're very important to have. Pee on them about 3 times a week. That's going to tell you your level of ketosis. Now, what we're mainly looking for here, and this is the first thing you're going to have in the morning, you're looking for pantotheric acid B5. That's going to help with your sugar and fat conversion, and that's going to solve the headache issue that you're going to have. And headaches come from just becoming hypoglycemic. Your body is not used to running on fats as a fuel source, so it's going to have a little bit of an issue. Your brain feels the lack of blood sugar first, so get yourself some pantotheric acid. That's going to help solve that problem. There's tons of different fish oils out there, but in a day, if you're not getting enough of your omega-3 fatty acids, your DHA, your EPA, supplement with 1 fish oil. And then you can read through the book End to Illness and make your own decision on vitamin D3 just for overall health. But in the morning, you're going to want to start with a B vitamin. All right, so when you come up to all your teas in an aisle, you're looking for just basic green tea. This is going to help you burn 4% more calories in a day. It's going to decrease your nutrient absorption. It's going to up your fat oxidation or your visceral fat around your central area. And visceral fat is the worst fat ever. That shrinks our hippocampus, which is our memory and learning centers. This is also polyphenol. It's going to supercharge your central nervous system. Overall, green tea, half cup of almond milk, and a B vitamin is the best start of a day for keto. Now, with all the research that's out, medium roast coffee, they talk about the best level of antioxidants. 3 to 4 cups a day. There's stuff with liver cirrhosis reversal, a whole bunch of fun things. So go ahead, and if you're going to mess with coffee, you can have 3 to 4 cups of it a day. Green tea, only 1 a day. But medium roast, that's the only stuff that I've really found a lot of research behind. Make your own conclusion on there, but black coffee only. No stupid creamers, no nothing. We're here to reduce the amount of chemicals that you're consuming per food, per meal, per day, per week, per month, per year, overall extending your life. And a lot of people out there like to use sweeteners. You can if you want, but you see this is 8 and 8. This is 30 and 29. They're still a sugar. So this in your body, it doesn't matter if it's organic or it's some other sugar. Yeah, the cornstarch in here is an extra glycemic index pump. But just things like this, just don't even use your sweeteners. If you're going to do keto correctly. You don't need the sweets. You just need to stop eating the sweets to stop craving them. Any sort of lemon solid, just have it with your green tea in the morning. Tomatoes, Stephen Guthrie, Plant Paradox. You can make your own judgment on tomatoes. Avocados, for instance, they are way more valuable than bananas. They have about 20% of your daily value of potassium, 40% of your daily value of dietary fiber. These are a great choice for keto. They have a lot of your healthy fats. Now, when it comes to breaking your fast, depending on how long you've been fasting, you've got celery, you've got broccoli. Beets are a little bit higher in glycemic index. Most every green here is going to be safe. Your eggplant, you can make a thing called eggplant pizza, which is just eggplant, peppers, and then some cheese. Most all these foods here are good. What you're going to want to do for all things keto is pay attention to this. 7 carbs, 2 grams of dietary fiber. That means there's 5 carbs overall, which, as you see, the 5 grams of sugar right there. So 7 minus 2 equal 5. That's how you come out with your total grams of sugar, total grams of carbs. So all greens are basically safe. Carrots are a little bit higher in glycemic index. Beets are a little bit higher in glycemic index. When you come across your peppers are going to be a little bit higher in glycemic index. Mushrooms are completely safe to consume. They're very healthy and good for your microbiome. Your peas are a little bit higher in glycemic index. Brussels sprouts are good. Asparagus, when you're checking your asparagus, make sure you look at the tops. Make sure the tops are nice and strong. That means they're going to last longer in your fridge. Cauliflower is a pretty good substitute for broccoli if you don't like broccoli, but I suggest eating broccoli. There might be no kale over here because people are learning how to... Oh, there it is. So kale's super good for your smoothies in the morning. If you're shopping in a general place like Giant Eagle, they have a thing called broccolini, and it's super, super good. These are just kind of seasoned versions of vegetables. Most of them are fine, but once again, check the back of the package. Spinach is super good for you, except the magnesium absorption to your mouth is not as efficient as a Epsom salt bath. And the consumption on here is also... One of these is going to be like 3 servings, 4 servings. Let's see, total 5 servings. So you have to buy a lot of spinach just because spinach is pretty dense and there's not a lot of it, so you're gonna have to eat a lot of it. Almonds are a good choice, but same thing with foods. We are counting the chemicals on them. So right here on this, you have a total of almonds, canola oil, peanut oil. I would not eat these. even though they are raw unsalted almonds, they have oils in them, don't touch them. So coming over here to this other one as well, see this has way too much extra stuff in it. Maltodextrin, sucralose, wheat starches, too many things that mess with their glycemic index. They have a 9:3 carb fiber ratio, just don't even consume those at all. When you come across other items that say salt, what you need to know about salt is general salt actually messes with the fermentation process. So you have 4 grams of carbs, 3 grams of dietary fiber, that's going to be total 1 gram of sugar. That's just how they cancel themselves out as the carrots previously. But your salt, you're going to actually want sea salt. Regular salt is going to interfere with the fermentation process of your vegetables, overall reducing the amount of serotonin that you're going to produce. See, here's a solid choice. Even though these are cashews, they're not really keto, there's something outside of it, you're going to want to pay attention to the one ingredient item. Yes, garlic, definitely. If you don't want to chop those up, just get these. It's basically the same thing. When you come across these dairy-free cheeses, you can't have them. 4 grams of carbs and no grams of dietary fiber. Potato starch and topeka starch, those are 2 things that are taking the place of like corn starches and other things that mess with your glycemic index. So yeah, these things, once again, always come back to the carbohydrates and dietary fiber ratio. It's very important. So out of every single seafood, the ones that have the most amount of research behind them, and they also help with your telomeres, which is your DNA health, are salmon. That's one of the most researched. B vitamins, super important, super healthy for you. Enjoy it. If you're going to be consuming peanut butter, you need to make sure that it has a nice little layer of oil on top. And then also same thing, you're going to come back here and you're going to see ingredients peanuts. The reason I would not suggest regular peanut butter is, once again, due to the amount of chemicals, and then also the making it blurry here, clicking the wrong button, the fully hydrogenated vegetable oils. That's something else that I also avoid 100%. They've got regular and raw unfiltered versions of the apple cider vinegar. I just saw this one, so it's with cinnamon. Cinnamon's also healthy for your gut and your metabolism. So this is probably going to be one of the best choices on the shelf right here. And that's the bag fat, yeah. So with cinnamon, super good as well. Basically anything that comes in a can is a big no-no, because they're going to do a lot of this. I'm going to say seasoned kale greens. Roll over to the back here. The kale's supposed to be 1 ingredient, not this many. Sorry, the sad truth between a white egg and a brown egg, if you start looking at the nutritional facts and you actually compare them together, I think there's like 5% of a difference between one of the vitamins. What is pantothenic acid? 20%. Pantothenic acid over here, 20%, 40, 45, 25. So once again, look at your nutritional facts chart. Don't look at the calories of the foods, just always look at this. Eggs are super solid. They're on par with like salmon when it comes to your telomere health, your overall DNA. These have a lot of vitamins and nutrients in them. They're very important. Go ahead and look up your telomeres. Learn about your B vitamins. You've got some omega-3 fatty acids. You've got some very important nutrients in an egg itself. So don't get rid of the yellow. The reason the whole white egg yolk became a thing was due to its protein consumption. But we're talking about protein consumption with bodybuilders taking steroids. So they're increasing their RBC count, which actually increases their protein synthesis. So that's why they can eat so much protein and not have any issues. Regular, original Philadelphia cream cheese only. An unsalted version of butter works very well. You see this cheese compared to the fake cheese? This has 0 grams of carbs. Cheese should not have carbohydrates in it. If it has carbohydrates in it, like I said before, it usually has some sort of glycemic index modifier. And that's why this one has 0, because it has no glycemic index modifiers. So you see right here, cornstarch, potato starch, those are glycemic index modifiers. So you have 1 gram. Here's your casein A2 protein cheese, goat, bison, sheep. Enjoy it. So the difference between this and an avocado is all of the fats, all of the fiber, all of the potassium, and all of the nutrients, mostly. So when you come to these, yeah, they're useful, but just eat a real avocado. Food is fuel, not fun, and if you eat it for fun, good luck when you're 60. There's a healthier milk at Market District and Trader Joe's, so this one is just the one you're going to want. It has the 30 calories, so staying under 70 calories is going to keep you in your fasted state. 30 calories is just to help you with the B vitamin when you have it in the morning, because your stomach's going to get a little bit upset if you haven't been taking it, especially, they say like taking medicine on an empty stomach, yada, yada, yada. You might feel a little bit of discomfort when the B vitamin when you start taking it at first, so I suggest taking it with a half cup of almond milk. You know, same thing with your green tea in the morning and your lemon. You don't want to mix green tea, lemon, and milk. It's very horrible. Done that. Do not advise. So just have this with your B vitamin in the morning, and then enjoy your green tea and start your day. Now, if you have a hard time eating cauliflower, broccoli, vegetables, trust me, I didn't eat any of them growing up. There's an association bias that you can create in your brain. So, you know, starting off with small things like this and mixing it with other things just to introduce the taste to yourself. I'll tell you what I did with kale in another video. But see, like, these are some things you want to worry about. So here's a broccoli. This is just, I haven't seen this one before. I'm just taking a guess. Yeah, okay, see here, the total carbs, 6 and 2, 17 and 6. This is just broccoli. It should be just broccoli. Then you got olive oil, skim milk, enzymes, whey, garlic, spice, all this other stuff. When's the last time you've cooked with lactic acid? Or when's the last time you've cooked with natural flavors? Or throw some whey in there. But anyways, always check the nutritional facts chart on the back, and it must have at least, at minimum, a 5 variance. So this one has a 4, which isn't too bad. But it's just when it comes to the chemical points, I say no, because you can consume broccoli as just broccoli by itself. So, you know, something like this isn't going to harm you, but overall, you don't want to get yourself addicted to receiving broccoli with the chemical texture that is applied to it, because then your brain is going to seek that chemical response when it eats the broccoli. That's why when you eat regular based foods, they taste like crap, because of all of the chemicals that have been added to increase the taste modifier. So you see when we roll back here, ingredient, broccoli. Carbs and dietary fiber, variance of 1. So based on the consume here, what is this, 3 servings per container, you can eat this entire thing of broccoli and it's going to be 75 calories and a total of 3 carbs. That's very, very solid. Or not total of 3 carbs, sorry, 1. And that's where your total sugars come from, because you got to always do the math. And this is why I talk about the chemical list. So modified food starch, that's very, very bad for you. What else is in this? We're not even going to go over the chemicals in this video. We're just going to say that, once again, as you saw, there was broccoli, but now this is broccoli with just so much stuff, it's unbelievable. It does stay within the variance, which is 3 total? That's weird, yeah, 3 total. But you've got modified food starch, maltodextrin. There's a chemical video of the list of chemicals that are 100% avoids in foods. Like I said, this probably tastes very, very good, but that's just because of all the extra chemicals in it. And once again, surprise, it's just simply broccoli with cheese sauce. So once again, as you saw, if we do this math, broccoli and cheese should, you see on the back, broccoli, regular, 4 and 3, which is 1, which would be 1 total carb. And then cheese has 0, so this should be 1 carb instead of 3, minus all of the chemicals that you'll consume here. So you see, don't consume the chemicals, because 25 calories, that's not a lot of food, but you've got probably 25 chemicals in here. And your brain has to process each and every single one of these. So imagine if you had to go one direction, which would be towards the direction of broccoli, which is health, or consuming broccoli plus all of these other modifiers, which you have to go many different ways for. But your body's gonna have to process every single one of those chemicals. Your brain's gonna have to trigger and process every single one of these chemicals. So just stay for the least amount of ingredients. So from what I've been reading and finding out over a very long time is that pretty much doesn't matter which farm most of this stuff comes through, the dirt in America is basically used through. So as you can see, these are broccoli florets. 5 and 3, same thing. This is just a 2 variants. It's basically the same. It has a little bit more than other stuff, but same thing. It's just broccoli. This is gluten-free. So if you are celiac or have any issues like that, or you ever notice your brain function not being fully there, you may have a gluten sensitivity. Check with your doctor and get a test, because the only way you'll know is being tested. You could literally be just punching the shit out of your brain, but your brain has no pain receptors, so it's not going to receive that feedback. So if you do eat things with gluten, that's where the keto diet's super, super useful. If you've never done keto and you're gluten, imagine having twice the brain power, twice the energy, and just overall twice the health power, because you're not depleting your brain by eating the gluten and causing all of the neurotoxic issues. So as you can see here on the back of an almonds, it does the math for you. So 3 total carbs, 3 grams of fiber, that's overall 3 net carbs. So right here you see the ingredients are almonds. That's 1 ingredient, that's 3 carbs, that's a solid food for keto. So right here, this is just marketing, for instance. This is 5 and 3, which is 2, but overall, the 5 and 3 with the 2, they're going to have glycemic index modifiers, corn maltodextrin, soy protein, hydrolyzed corns, apparently not the greatest for you. Vegetable oil, also something that I never consume. So in this specific case, you are consuming 2 net carbs, but it comes back to the chemicals that are applied to the food for the taste modifier. Are they something that is going to spike your glycemic index and possibly take you out of ketosis? With these, I would say probably yes, but also get yourself a keto pea strip, pee on it 3 times a week, see if stuff like this knocks you out of ketosis. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. But as you can see, 3 with 1 ingredient or 2 with more ingredients. So each food that tastes better, it's going to have more ingredients in it, more processing, more shit. So as you can see right here, this is a coconut water versus a soda. 16 grams of added sugar, comes out to 21 grams total carbs. That's where you start getting into your chemicals are going to increase the carb number. Over here, the variance is just by 6. It's just you're consuming a little bit less chemicals. So at the end of the day, stuff like this has just too much sugar in it overall for a keto diet. So it doesn't matter, you can't consume it, but there are versions that you can consume. Let me show you them. So like even when you come across the original version, you know, it's too much carbohydrates over there. Right here on the back of waters, so alkaline, if you're familiar with the Wim Hof method, the alkaline pH balance is a anti-inflammatory disease, yada yada yada, toxins, all the fun stuff. Basically right here, so as you can see, this one has a pH of 7.7, which is your Fiji water. This one has a pH of 9.5. I suggest, another video, we'll talk about the Wim Hof method. It's just a breathing exercise. It turns basically you'll be able to pee on a strip and have it dark blue, completely alkaline, align your blood. Everyone always asks the questions about 0-calorie items, like, can I have this? Well, 0 calories, overall total carbs of 4, and then it just comes overall right here with the amount of chemicals. That's an instant no. So this reinforces everything right here. You see total carbs 2 when you drink the whole thing. Slam it over here, roll over the ingredients. Certain ones like modified food starch, sucralose, aspartate, potassium. I don't consume any of those. Those are 3 that are listed on the glycemic index charts, and that's where in a thing that has 0 calories, but 15 if you have the whole container, has its 2 carbs from. So yeah, sugar-free, but definitely not brain-safe and chemical-free. That's the important part. Stuff like this, nah, don't touch it on keto. You don't want chemicals. This is to grow your brain, not stunt it. Depending if you consume animal foods or not, when you're coming around to your bone broth, chicken broth, all the fun stuff, same thing. Just make sure you look at the ingredients. See, this one has sea salt, so it's totally solid. This one's set up for your vegetables. It's gonna add really good. So always look at that. You even have to be careful with gum. 2 grams of carbs, remember, same thing. Where's the ingredients? You've got aspartame, soy lecithin, aspartame K, BHT, 4 things that you're going to 100% avoid. But that'll be on the chemical video. This is the keto video. Celery, broccoli, cauliflower, eggplants, cukes and zooks. Everything you see here except the beets. So here's peppers. As you notice, this one has 4. There are ones in here that are going to have 3. Where are we at? Right here. So what's the difference between a 3 top and a 4 top? Go ahead and Google and learn it. One's male and female, which one's which. So like lime juice, just get real limes. You don't want preservatives. Same thing, chemicals. Yep, in the morning, for sure. Garlic is super great with salmon and asparagus, with lemon, some sea salt. It's really good stuff. Add a little bit of turmeric and coconut oil, you got yourself a meal. Shrooms, yeah. Brussels sprouts are very hard to eat, but eat them anyways. Asparagus, gonna make your pee smell real bad. Kale, have it in a smoothie. I would honestly suggest taking most of your greens and putting them in smoothies, but it's always good to consume greens to give your body something to digest, because if you turn everything into a syrup, it's gonna be easier for your body to digest, but it's gonna be harder for your body to break down and absorb the nutrients from it, sometimes. But right here, hard food, chewable, lots of fiber, yummy, make your pee smell. When it comes to dressings, I don't really consume salads, but same thing, you're paying attention to the glycemic index modifier foods. So if it's a name brand something such as Wishbone, you're gonna roll over here and you're gonna see maltodextrin, soybean oil, monosodium glutamate. You're gonna start seeing a lot of carbohydrates in these foods. A lot of these chemicals are gonna mess with glycemic index. When you roll on to some other ones, you do not see those. Carbohydrates are still there, but these are a little bit healthier of a version of chemicals, I assume, if you're going to consume these. But same thing, the modified Topeka starch that's taking place of the syrups and starches that say cornstarch, because people are learning about them. So they put in a different one that's a little bit lower on the glycemic index. But when it comes to all of these, I know personally that Prime Kitchen is a pretty good one. They've got a lot of organic items in there. There's nothing super crazy. When it comes to carbs, you got 2, low amount. That's pretty solid, I would say, if you had to consume one of these. But do your own research. Just avoid the name brand, because name brand, look here, Hidden Valley. We'll go with Ken's. I don't know who this person is. But same thing here. See, vegetable oil, soybean oil. They're using honey in here, which is nice. Vinegar, paprika. This isn't the worst ingredients, but 11 carbs, you can't have it. So come on the back, and the best thing to learn in life. One of the most valuable lessons you're going to learn about the ketogenic diet is that less is more. And this is a very intricate process here. So this price is $2.95, right? Less is more. So more ingredients, the lower the price, which is to create that toxic environment and not allow the brain to grow. The higher priced food, as obviously stated, has lower amounts of chemicals, which are healthier, which will allot for an overall healthier human environment for growing their brains. So this is like one of the main ones I cook with. It's just going to be a coconut oil. Avocado oil is another solid choice. No, your vegetable oils, which are going to be hiding over here somewhere. So like these vegetable oils, once again, Stephen Guthrie, Plant Paradox, you can read through those and make your decision on them. But I stick between olive, coconut, and then I eat enough avocados in a day that I don't need to use the oil. When you're standing over here in front of all of these options as a different version of fish, if you want to make a simple meal, scroll up to the top. You're going to be looking for your sardines. This is where you get your omega-3 fatty acids from. They're very important. There's some good ones with olive oil. There's usually ones at Market District that have some sort of lemon in them. So if you find recipes online where it's like, get some Star-Kissed tuna. So let's go over the Star-Kissed tuna. There's 8 grams of fat, 1 gram of dietary fiber, some poly and mono. That's pretty solid. There's a decent amount of nutrition in here, but, when it comes down to it, you got 26 grams of protein in one container. It's a lot of protein depending on what you're making with your food. Same thing, this has a regular salt, don't really want to mess with that. Soybean oil, just get salmon. Salmon has 1 ingredient, has better nutritional facts, and is just overall healthier for you. So when it comes to fish, salmon, if you can't get salmon and you're on a vacay, get yourself some sardines, just so you can maintain the amount of omega-3 fatty acids that you're going to need in a day. I've had somebody ask about these for keto before. So 2 carbs, hey look, it's under the calorie. Yeah, but look at all the chemicals. So same thing here. Sucralose, we're 100% avoiding that, so it's an automatic no. No, stop. Like, this is just making you addicted. You don't need this for keto. You don't need anything except water and your mind. When you're coming over to spices, some super good ones, you're going to want to be looking for your Himalayan pink sea salt. That's going to help you on your fast if you ever get lethargic. Ground cinnamon's going to help with your microbiome health. Pretty much all of these are, use them if you want. The only ones that I say to avoid are your just regular iodine salts. Humans do need this, so don't, stray away from it forever, but just try to not use it when you're eating foods that are fermentable foods, such as your vegetables and other things that have a very close carbohydrate to dietary fiber ratio. So even your sugar-free items, remember, you've got 3 total carbs in here, but are the chemicals worth it? I'm going to hold this here for a second. Look in the bottom left. See that word sucralose? We're going to avoid that one 100% as well. So this right here, being a sugar-free, keto-friendly item, is going to be an absolute no. Because with vitamins and minerals, cool. With chemical versions of vitamins and minerals. And also has the same thing as a diet soda. So sucralose, right after sucralose, no, definite no. Any of these green teas in the morning, hell yeah. Put a lemon in there, make it nice and cold, because that'll help turn on your digestive system. Coffee, everybody like coffee, but just make sure you stay towards your medium roast, because there's a lot of actual health research behind the medium bean for its antioxidant presence. Ooh, yeah, really sorry about this one. Yeah, see right here, this 100% keto. It doesn't taste the best, but it's got some of the greatest dietary fiber to carb ratio, and it has just one ingredient. So get used to it, sorry. But this is one of the best ones that I can see. My hands are dirty from the ascend. It's like a gym, the floor is dirty. But this one's solid, and 100%, down from 100% at the other grocery stores, which I will record. There's going to be more percentages. You're going to want to stay above 90, basically. If you absolutely have to have sugars, make sure you find sugars that have only one ingredient, something similar to this. I would just avoid sugars overall, but if you have to, make sure you look at the chemicals, make sure you look at the carbs and the sugars. Skipped over these, sorry. Walnuts are super, super good. Pecans are a good choice as well. The reason I do not put meat on my ketogenic diet is because there is way too much research behind meats, cancers, and other issues inside of the human body. If you have to eat a meat other than eggs or salmon that supports your DNA health, you're going to consume chicken breast. The lighter the meats, the better they are for you if you have to consume a meat. You can also look this up for yourself, but look at like cdc.gov, just type in hot dogs overall. You'll see what they actually do, and then same thing coming back here. These are going to be a healthier version, like cultured dextrose. A lot of companies are using that instead of sodium nitrate. That's another curing item, but then there's been like correlative shit with cancers. Hydrolyzed core protein, just useless shit. Just do not consume these unless you literally have to. I think it was like something talking about like a 13% increase in cancer, but I'm not at all correlating these. Do your own research. It's what I found and what I've read. You can find your own answers. I'm just letting you know that these are out there and look for them. The same thing here. This would pass your dietary fiber fats for keto, but it fails based on its chemicals, just because you've got monosodium glutamate, dextrose, isolated soy protein. Soy protein is not the best for humans. Sodium nitrate is the worst curing agent, and overall this is just a giant chunk of, there's corn syrup in here too, so that's where you're getting your 3 carbs from, your corn syrup, your monosodium glutamate, and maybe the soy protein, I'm not sure. I know 2 of those at least, dextrose as well. So that's all 3. Both of those are all glycemic index modifiers and taste modifiers, so it might knock you out of ketosis if you're trying to do keto. Just to reinforce the fact of chemicals having glycemic index, you can see here erythritol, however you want to pronounce it, it says no effects on blood sugar. So you can see right there that there are chemicals out there that do have an instant spike to your blood sugar. There's nothing in here, right? Yep, salt, sea salt, yeah, see. Stuff like this, I mean, if you're on keto, I wouldn't touch it. 6 carbs, 1, nah. 5 overall, nah. So when it comes to olives, yeah, they're a pretty good choice. But always check the nutritional facts chart. This one back here, solid, except regular salt. I don't even know what that word is. So yeah, this would be a, I'm gonna go with a no, because A, in a can, B, I just didn't see olives here. They don't have the hot bar. But if there is a hot bar with olives, ask for the menu, and then just look at it real quick. It just takes less than a minute. Whoops, darkness come to light. Yeah, olives, meh, they're good. They're a good source of sodium, usually, but other than that, some fats, a little bit of dietary fiber. Useful, good, healthy, for sure. Just make sure that they are real. So, yes, tofu in theory is keto compatible, but when it comes down to it, I just look at like what ingredients it's made with, and then also comes to how much nutrition am I actually getting out of this. So right here, you're getting a little bit of fats, you're not getting any DHA, getting very minimal amount of nutrients. This is protein heavy. I would just go ahead and tofu for me is a no. I don't eat it, but if you want it, you can have it. Red wines. There's a lot of research behind resveratrol and consuming the red wines, although it is 0.1 liter. So your resveratrol versus what is it, formaldehyde or cancerous shit that comes out of here. I don't remember the name. Always good look for your reds, because they're the healthiest based on the research that's out there. That's all I can tell you based on that. Do a lot of your own reading. Red wines, what do we talk about in here? The telomere effect, a little bit with the microbiome diet, the mind-gut connection. There's a bunch of books that mention red wine and its use. And Josh, just go ahead and buy some with my name. So this is the ketogenic diet. No, you can't have beer. Shiny apples are just covered in shellac anyways. That's why they look all shiny and cool. If they have a 4 on them, they've been sprayed with pesticides at some point in their life. But we ain't got to worry about these because we're on keto. We don't eat this. Sauerkraut at other grocery stores. I think it's Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. They're gonna have a sauerkraut that does not have the extra preservatives inside of it. Does not have regular salt. It's gonna have sea salt. So same thing with your fermentation process as well. So I can't find flax seeds at the store, but just for conversational purposes, we're gonna pretend this is a flax seeds. With flax seeds, you're gonna want to be going for milled flax seeds, because when you consume flax seeds by themselves without them being milled, you're pretty much just gonna shit them out. Your body's not gonna digest them. But these are not flax seeds because they don't have flax seeds at this grocery store that I'm recording at. So just imagine that these research with some flax seeds and put them in your shakes. Yep, just corn. Erase it from history, please. Thank you. I cannot stress to you enough how much these words under the ingredients matter for the long-term effects of your life. Up here as well, calories, carbs, and your overall nutrition that you're receiving. What's happening when you're consuming these foods, do you know? That's the key to a long life, is understanding this simple algorithm of numbers and words. And if you can figure this out and master this, you can do a lot of great stuff. So that's ketogenic diet. Here's my foot, here's my finger. Go to do whatever you want in life. Have fun. Great, thanks. Thanks for watching, enjoy.